download from the BBC. To find out more, go to bbc.co.uk/6music.
Hello, you're listening to the podcast of the Russell Brand Show, aren't they, Matt?
Yes, they are.
Oh, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, this podcast could be really brilliant. Well done. Did it cost any money?
It's free.
Free of charge. Well, what are you complaining for? Mind you, no one is complaining. Right, now, on this podcast, it'll be exciting. Noel Gallagher reckons he might turn up. Do you reckon he's going to turn up, Matt?
Yes, because he's promised.
No, Noel Gallagher's promises his bond. Trev, what do you think?
No, he's not coming.
He's not coming.
No.
So it could go either way. So you might be listening to Noel Gallagher on this podcast. That's the podcast. Enjoy the podcast. Bye!
He's not coming.
He's definitely coming. I just had a text message, Trevor, saying he goes, all right, I'll be in. His accent didn't come across in the text message, but I sort of did that.
Put it in.
I did that as an interpretive bit of art that I've done there.
Are you willing to stake your nudity on it?
Definitely. If he ain't here at 12, right, this show is on a webcam. Have a look at bbc.co.uk/6music. There's a webcam. I might do the show nude anyway. I was going to suggest that, actually, Matt.
I know, you're not, I don't know why I said that.
Yeah, I don't know why you said
He
that.
answers the door to me. I have to get a cab in with Russell. And he treats that taxi as a sort of alarm clock, so...
I call it a car alarm clock.
And then he opens the door and he's completely naked.
Yeah, he's done that to me before.
And he'd obviously just woken up as well.
Woohoo! Good morning, and Noel Gallagher's coming on, and we're already discussing Morning Glory. So it's going to be a fantastic show. But the main topic today is this means nothing to me. Things that other people like, but to you mean absolutely nothing. We've got an email here from Kat in Liverpool. She goes, although they do for other people, and apparently the entire Six Music, ... Radiohead and Morrissey. P.S. I'm not a fan of the Beatles either.
But, yeah, a lot that, and that's like me saying I don't really care about Morrissey to you, isn't it?
Yeah.
People say they don't like the Beatles, I just think...
But she's from Liverpool, Matt.
I mean, that's weird, isn't it?
Do you think she just lives there, or is she a Liverpudlian and just she probably hates herself?
Kat, let us know, what is this? Why do you hate your roots, woman? What have you got against the Beatles?
I think she's a student, she's living in Liverpool,
yeah.
She's having it rammed down her throat every night.
Oh, the Beatles, the thing about the Beatles
When I was in the Beatles...
Yeah, so it's just got on her nerves now. She's decided to kick out against it.
I've never been to Liverpool, but are there
It's
pictures
alright,
of
it's
them
nice
everywhere?
there. Yeah, everywhere you go,
yeah.
you will gather.
There's more in Lima, actually. There's more pictures of the Beatles in Lima.
Trevor
Trevor, you've not been to Lima.
I have been to Lima.
You've not been to
They've
Lima
got
in
pictures
Peru.
of the Beatles in McDonald's in Lima.
Other burger joints are available. Why do you
I don't know why
this?
they- 'cause
That's
I've been
against
to-
the branding of that burger joint.
I've been to Lima.
I'm sure Paul McCartney would like to know about that.
But
Well,
almost
there
everywhere,
we-
they're obsessed with the Beatles in Lima.
Where is
Really?
Lima?
Lima's the
Peru,
capital
innit?
of Peru, which is in South America.
Go on, say something else about Peru. You're always on about it, Trev. Everyone loves
I wish you
I know
not to
who-
say.
blabbering
that
on
bear
like
from
Willy
Peru.
Fogg.
Wasn't Paddington?
Paddington was from Peru.
Sort of, yeah.
Why
What do
are
you
the
mean,
pictures
sort of? Trev, as if there's some other element. What do you mean, sort of, from Peru?
Well, English people who know nothing about Peru think that Paddington came from Peru.
Look at
Peruvian
Trev being all
people.
snooty about his
He
knowledge of
is.
Peru.
He is from
Oh,
Peru.
I know about Peru. He is
He is
Peruvian.
from Peru.
What do you mean he is from Peru? He's an English invention.
Yeah, but all right.
Yes,
so
but in the story it says
he's from
he's
Peru.
He is
Please
from the
look
story,
after
yeah,
this
but
bear.
Peruvians don't know anything about him, do they? If you go to Peru, as I did, and ask about Paddington, they look at you like you've gone
It's like
out.
saying Buck Rogers isn't from the 21st century.
You go to 21st century and ask them about him, they've never heard of him.
Right.
Okay.
Trevor's gone mad.
Yeah, look, Noel Gallagher, he's definitely coming. I've just had a text message from Noel Gallagher. Goes to him, listen to this show, because we're talking about it. He goes, can't at the minute, I'm getting into character. Here's the thing, Sarah's up in Scotland and won't be able to hear the show. Any chance of getting a copy for her? She's very upset about it. No! She should be listening.
Can't you get this in Scotland then?
Of course you can. She could be listening in Scotland. Noel's not listening now, so we can
You
really
might be
cool.
busy. Also, you've got to drop these fantasies that you know Noel Gallagher.
No, I do know Noel Gallagher. He and I are very close. He'll be along shortly. Noel will be coming to the show.
That annoys me about
What?
Scottish people saying things like that. So
Why?
she's in...
Yeah, but that's because they've lived under... There was years of oppression from the English, weren't there?
What, that
Mucked
they
them
remember?
about. Yeah, but it's just it gets ingrained in your culture, doesn't it? Something like that.
Stupid.
Matt, do you hate middle class people?
Yep.
There you go.
National
The-
loyalties mean nothing to me, all of them.
All national loyalty.
You're loyal to Peru.
I'm not loyal to Peru.
Yeah, you are loyal. It's all
not
about
loyal.
Lima.
It's
Oh,
meant-
I was in Lima. I saw a photograph of Mac.
Paddington was not from Peru.
This is
not
a
how
common
I speak.
misconception about
That's not how I
Peru.
speak.
People always
This
think that
is me
Paddington
speaking
comes
now.
from
That is
Peru,
not
but
how I
actually,
speak.
he's
I don't know
never
who these-
even been there.
Who's he doing an impression of?
We're going to
It's
be
not
doing
me.
Trevor.
This is how I
Shut
speak.
up! You're ruining the show doing that. Right, so later on we're going to do annoying, isn't he? But later on we're going to do Trevor's competition. Trevor calls it his Sonic Enigma. We called it other things. That's coming up in about 10 minutes. Noel Gallagher definitely coming on this show. He'll be here at 12.
Any more texts?
Let's have a look.
From Nolan.
Oh, we've had no more texts from Nolan. We're going to be flirting with the girls in the next studio. Read out some of your emails, you two.
Well, you've only just asked us to.
Yeah.
Saying it like
Bossy boots.
that. Toss told him he was ruining the show for talking.
He's talking over a joke.
What annoys me about hen nights is when you see them when they're out, they always there's these cliches of having a learner
Pink
sign,
cowboy hats.
condoms, and sometimes some sort of sex toy tied to them like a bride's veil,
With sex toys.
and they all look like. I think people understand a way you're meant to behave
Exactly,
on
it's so
hen nights
desultory,
and
isn't
stag.
it?
I think stag nights.
Desultory. It is desultory.
I saw one the other day. Last night it was.
So it's an approximation. It's not like, oh, right, this is us
like, oh,
having
we're
our
gonna
hen
do
night.
this
It's
now.
like, okay, let's get on the school uniforms. You have a...
Trevor, that's your sex life.
That's not normal.
Your sex life is desultory. All right, let's get on the school uniforms. Let's dress up. Trevor said one. It was one of the things that Trevor said meant nothing to you. It was the law, wasn't it, Trev?
Don't be silly.
Only joking. That does mean something to Trev.
That is a...
That turns him on. I'm only joking. Trevor's a
That is
decent
a
man
good
who abides the
taboo.
law. While we're doing this show, people from another BBC station are doing their radio show in the next studio, and I think, Matt, Trev, that it's our obligation to show that we're having a much better time than them. Like, whoa, yeah. Like, what if you're out, you're out with a girl or something, and then you see another couple, another table, and that couple at the
But
other
you're
table.
doing the hen night thing.
What?
You're conforming to what looks like having fun instead of actually having fun.
I'm not... whoa, we're having fun on the radio, dancing around...
I'll tell you what means nothing to me. Having fun means nothing to me.
What, you're abandoning the concept of fun?
What is fun? I don't know. I mean, if you fake having fun, you're having fun.
No, you're not. And you said Friday and Saturday night means nothing to you.
It
You
means-
drive around London
Crying.
confused and angry in your car.
That's how Travis Bickle started.
We were out. We said come out with us, but you chose to drive around.
Because you were in a
Is that what you're
loud,
doing, Trev?
noisy pub.
Did you just drive around?
I did, yeah.
Just drive around. That's how serial
stupid.
killing starts. Plus, he's already got a previous of killing animals in his childhood.
I haven't. But I do feel that about Friday and Saturday nights. I don't get that at all. I'm not under that thing.
You're not under the spell of the obligation. That's what I mean
No.
about birthdays and Christmas. I don't like the idea that this is a legitimate time
Oh,
to
New Year's
have
Eve.
fun. New Year's
I
Eve
hate
means
New
nothing
Year's
to
Eve.
me.
Means nothing to me.
Literally means
I was on my own
nothing.
this New Year's Eve. Yeah,
Well, yeah,
ignoring
what
it.
were you doing?
I was reading a book.
What was it?
Well, that was a victory for you, Trev.
You showed the world. What a
I wasn't
triumph.
trying to show the world.
Well, yeah.
No, I just
You
did.
looked all proud of yourself. I fought it this year. I stayed in and read a book.
That'll show them. Here's firstly, you sound like the touchy-feely long hair who did the chatty thing from reality telly. Is it you? Secondly, that means things that mean nothing to me. Lost, Oasis. Don't you ever go to Oasis? Not on the very day that Noel Gallagher's coming in here. Trev fancies one of the girls in our rival studio.
Don't say that. It's just the other me. That's who I like.
He fancies having me. Like, there's a version of each of us.
I
Their
don't
radio
like the
show
other me.
obviously is not as good. I like other you.
I
think
like
it's
the other
nice.
you.
You like other me?
Yeah.
Well, I like all of them. There's other Matt has got sort of a silver headscarf on, sort of mixed race, quite sexy. Then there's a sort of a me version, a girl with dreads who looks quite pretty. Then Trev's one is, as we know, sort of a spinster aunt pushing a tease maid.
She's typing. That's the thing I don't understand. She's sitting there typing.
She'd probably type in a letter of complaint about your sexual harassment.
What's most disturbing is they won't look at us.
I
They
know,
do.
let's get their attention.
Occasionally they look.
Do they?
Look, let's try. Russell is now going over to
It's
the
the
window. He's
problem
banging on the wall.
Brilliant.
Other me is just look. She's
They're
waving.
looking. Right, we've got
Other
the
me's now
attention of
waving at
other
me.
asses. Yeah.
They're looking at us now. We don't know what to do.
Oh no!
Oh,
We've
They're
God.
smiling now.
They're smiling. We've got their attention.
Yeah, they look sort of pitiful.
They do. No.
No, I mean at us.
From Faye in Devon. Morning, Russell. I'm loving your show. I thought nothing could beat the mighty Liz, but as lovely as Liz is, she never had me in fits of laughter every Sunday. I hadn't read this in advance. I really dislike people telling me to visit Australia just because they had because they had virtually no imagination and followed the boring and unoriginal gap year path of Thailand, Australia and New Zealand. It doesn't mean I want to spend 500 quid on a ticket to somewhere which is like a hot England. full of dangerous creatures. Right, we been flirting with the girls in the next studio to us, right, and they just, like, Trevor, actually it was me, held up a sign saying, show us your knockers, right, because there's a window glass there, and I thought, that'd be a cheeky...
Window glass?
There's a window glass, I better shouldn't tell you. It's the size of a wall, but made out of see-through nothing. And I go, show us your knockers on a bit of paper, and then they've bothered to print out some pictures of some knockers.
Door knockers.
Well, she's just photocopied our knockers, yeah.
They're door knockers, Trev.
She's got them off images on
Because
Google.
Trevor's never seen a woman's boobs before.
I thought she'd just gone to the photocopy and done it. I didn't realise that was that. Okay.
You poor man. Now, Trevor, what is it that means... You've got a story for This Means Nothing to Me. What is it?
Well, this meant something to me. It meant nothing to the members of my class. I had a book that taught you how to do some...
Are there animals in this story?
Did you kill them?
Simple origami. I made...
If you're new to this show, you won't know that Trevor Locke, as a child, drowned some mice and showed them to a vicar, drowned mice in an aquarium. He showed them to a vicar and was worried about it.
Beat a trout to death?
He beat a trout to death. I was a pike, wasn't it?
If you're new to this show, you won't know that Russell takes things out of context and makes them sound different to how they actually were.
Oh yeah, there are loads of contexts that make mouse drowning sound like a bit of a laugh. It happened during the 70s. It was like drowning little tiny mice.
Oh, well, let's get this story out.
Come on in, Trev.
And then we can ridicule him for that.
I made a paper dragon, a little out of origami, a little paper dragon, and I called it Ricky.
Ricky the Dragon.
Yeah, and what happened
You
was...
loved it, did you?
I was 8 years old, I used to take it to school with me, and Ricky used to answer questions in class, and I gave him a voice, and he just used to go everywhere with me for about 3 months. I just had this little thing.
Did the other children like it?
Sort of. It was just like... It was just
3 months this went on for.
Yeah, like Mrs. Smith...
No, but that's in children time. It probably meant it went on for 2 weeks.
It was a whole term.
How did it speak?
It sort of had a little voice like that.
And hang on, what lasted for a whole term? Do you think before you went back after holidays, you thought, I think Ricky's over now. I'm going to do another term without Ricky.
No, this is what happened. I had him, and he would answer questions in class and stuff. He was like a member of the class.
Well, the teachers tolerated that you were going,
Mrs. Smith.
Mrs. Smith, I'm Ricky.
Yeah.
Was he on the register?
He was on the register. No,
I tell you, who should be on a register. You, for local loonies.
So what happened was, at the height of it...
height of it, like it was Beatlemania.
Ricky Fever.
It's Ricky Fever, everybody. Ricky. People go pretty crazy for Ricky the Dragon when the whole punk thing happened. Come on, Trev, let's hear your ridiculous...
At the height of it.
What I mean was...
Crazy days.
When I was doing it a lot, I'd take him into the playground and play football with him, holding him in my hand.
That kind of helps.
Because I used to do that, and the mouth used to open, and I'd do the voice. Anyway, what happened was Darren Goddard, who sat next to me, one day, he just grabbed it and screwed it all up and said, "Look, it's just a piece of paper! It's just a piece of paper, Trev!"
Trev's face contorted in rage, remembering that moment. What was that?
What was his name? Because I'm behind him.
Darren Goddard.
Darren Goddard. What happened next, Trev? What happened next once Ricky had been
I was stunned. In that moment, I was really, really shocked.
Did you think, if only I could find another piece of what I call paper, Ricky will live again?
I picked him off the floor and I carefully unscrambled him and I glued him back together.
Lazarus like Ricky rose again.
Just be serious, think about it. That was really tough. You know, to have someone... How could you do that? To see that I was so in touch and...
Because annoyed in front of your school trip.
He'd been there for a whole term, right? And what was his name?
Ricky.
No, Darren had probably had to play second fiddle to this bit of paper.
Yeah, probably get more attention. He's probably had to be brought into special needs class because all your class time was being consumed by an idiot boy in a paper dragon.
Yeah.
I don't blame people, Trev, for becoming irritated. I'm behind old
So that's why he lost.
Darren Goff.
Yeah, I'm behind him. And is that why he lasted for a term?
I was just... No, I glued him back together and that was... I said at the height of it, and then there was a few more weeks of him.
Was Ricky different after the accident?
No, Ricky was the same, and Darren...
You should have adapted his voice.
You should have come back angrier.
Yeah.
You could have done, yeah, but I'm not that sort of person. I don't have an angry alter
But you did get angry then when you told the story.
That was me doing Darren Goddard.
Yeah, very
really
convincing.
You tapped into the
Darren was furious.
Of your own soul.
It was ugly to watch, Trev.
I liked Darren after
and
that.
he spat on the microphone.
Yeah.
You did, Trev. That's unhygienic. Noel Gallagher's coming in here later. I'm not letting him use that microphone. I wouldn't even have him anywhere near you anyway. OK, shall we listen to Midlake, Young Bride?
Yes.
Get in touch with us if you want, 64046. You can talk to us about anything. Let's try and distract ourselves from Trevor's ridiculous childhood. Noel Gallagher's here, correct atmosphere. Woo, Noel Gallagher, yeah. All right, Noel.
All right.
Hey, well, did you hear last week, the show?
I was in bed, mate.
Yeah, that's really because you went to a wedding.
I went to my mate's wedding, and I was just telling your fella on the way in. I think
It's not my fella. We're not in love.
Well,
we're just pals.
it was 10 o'clock before well, as we were going to bed, and I was like, if I get 2 hours kip, I'll be all right. And I didn't wake up till 5 in the evening.
We were all very hurt, actually. And that's. Do you know how we coped with it? Did you listen to it?
No, I didn't. You kind of tried to explain it to me, but I was. Arsehole.
Let's just move on.
There's his first swear word. Matt's trying to.
That's not a swear word.
What did he say?
He said the A word. I apologise. We're not allowed that, are we? I don't know. But let's not get bogged down.
If you have the two of them together, it becomes Arsenal. You can say whole, can't you? Right?
Right. You can say whole. That's true.
And you can say arse.
Yeah, but you can also independently say uck. No, just a single labial fricative in front of that causes a lot of problems for old Russ, especially on a show where we've gone. We ain't bothered about when the royals die. Okay, so but because you didn't come last week, we got Matt to do an impression. We goes, Noel Gallagher's here. Trevor said you wouldn't come. Trevor said you'd be unreliable. And we got Matt to do an impression.
Were you sympathetic, Matt?
It was really moving.
Actually, let's do a little scene. Let's do a little scene. Let's wrap up once and for all this Blur v Oasis thing. What do you think of Blur?
They're rubbish.
No, that's not what you did.
That's not what you said.
He went, Blur are much better, they do better songs, our songs are dead rubbish, alright, our kid, a cup of tea's just the same as putting heroin directly into your own bottom. That's the stuff like that.
Some mates you can say heroin and not the other
But you can say, because we're saying that heroin is bad, never do it. That's how we can say it. It's not sick. I don't make the rules.
So you were you were doing some kind of Tommy Cooper / some belligerent northerner impersonation. Not really an impersonation of me. It was actually unimpersonatable.
You are actually.
Yeah,
exactly. People tend to go into Liam when they do.
Yeah,
there was a bit when I had to pretend to be you and crying, and I couldn't do both at once.
That's really hard.
That's because I've never cried ever.
I just couldn't imagine what it sounded like.
Quite frequently.
No, never cried once.
Under this bluff, aggressive exterior.
When I was little.
Yeah.
Asked my mum once. She said, "Never seen it." Not even when I was born. Came out and just went.
All right. Got any tabs? Let's do a line. We've got to
get the breakfast on.
What a lovely way to be born by Noel Gallagher. Now we've got we did Trevor's Sonic Enigma earlier, where you had to guess what was the track from a series of noises. Let's not waste another 20 seconds listening to that insane cacophony. Kate has managed to get it right. Hello there, Kate.
Hello.
How are you, my love?
I'm fine, thanks. A bit hungover.
Are you? Well, at least, unlike Noel Gallagher last week, you've bothered to listen to the show. Thank you very much. So, what do you've listened to Trevor's Sonic Enigma, and you've worked out the answer?
Yeah, I think it's Oliver's Army.
You think it's Oliver's Army? Is that the correct answer, Trevor?
That is the correct answer.
Yes! Well done, Kate. Well done. Also, perhaps you could become a cracker-like detective, because you obviously understand the minds of the mentally ill. Being able to work that out, you could become a top cop.
It's a bit disturbing. I don't know how I got it, to be honest.
How did you get it, Kate? Because, I mean, let's have a quick listen to that competition, shall we? Right, this is Trevor's Sonic Enigma, which you're supposed to be able to work out. You're meant to listen to this, Noel, right? This is meant to be a clue for the song Oliver's Army by Elvis Costello.
Load up some more chocolate muffins or pucker. Now, put the bread roll division. Quick, we've got an incoming sausage roll at 4 o'clock. Right, you come round the back with a bunch of asparagus. Pucker. Jules, where's Jules? I can't see a thing. There's cream cake.
Right, from that insane madness, bring the sound of that down.
Oh, this cream cake is terrible.
So from that, I mean, it goes on.
I think it was the sausage roll bit. I don't know why, but I think it was that. The incoming sausage roll.
I wouldn't have got that, no.
So you're brilliant. You should work with, I don't know, criminals or something. Trevor, you talk us through it. You should work with criminals. You're fantastic.
He should work with the Defence
I think we should both work with criminals.
Ministry of Defence, I think. I do work with criminals. Our Liam's been arrested on more than one occasion.
Yeah, that's true. You do. That's nice.
Who's got more arrests, you or Liam?
Oh, I don't know.
Liam.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, but mine he's got quantity, but I've got real quality arrests, like proper ones. He's got stuff for being drunk and disorderly. I've got stuff for robbery.
Right, we're going to talk about Noel. Hold on a second, everyone. We're going to be talking about Noel's arrest in a minute. Kate, congratulations. Well done. Applause for Kate. Are you going to come in next week, Kate, and be in the studio like Susie and Rich before you?
Yeah, definitely. Go on then.
Come down, hang out with us. Hey, it's crazy down here. And also, Matt will say that he's going to get some prizes for you, and then he won't actually bother to get them. Because, earlier on we were talking about this means nothing to me. Is that what means nothing to Matt is the concept of honour. He'll say, I'll get you that book.
Have I not won anything then?
You have, and you'll get an amazing prize that will come out of my own pocket.
Okay.
It's all going to be sorted out.
So, Kate, we look forward to meeting you next week. Well done on being able to understand the brain of a psychopath.
Thank you.
Cheers, Kate. Nice one. So, Noel, about these arrests. I mean, like, so Liam's got arrests for a series of petty
I
crimes.
actually know who's got the most arrests out of Russell and Liam.
He probably went, according to the telly the other night, you're at 11, didn't you?
About 11.
He's not got 11.
Ain't he?
Really?
He's got a few, but he's never been charged or anything.
Really? What about because he's
You sound disappointed. Oh, really?
Yeah, well, can you imagine that once... You'd reckon that once he's in for questioning, Liam's like, sorry, officer.
The love in this room for our kid is amazing, isn't it? Well, he's never been charged. Really?
Come on, let's get him with something.
Yeah.
Can't we get him... someone have a look at his computer. Let's stitch him up.
We'll pin something on him.
We'll turn him right over. What are your arrests then, Noel?
Robbery.
That's really bad.
What's
Yeah. Robberies?
I don't want to bring this up. Yes, I do. But when I was a young juvenile delinquent, I'd burglary.
He's just making his way through life, old Noel Gallagher.
Yeah, and another one for possession of some
drugs. Was it?
Yeah.
Was that after Oasis or before?
That was before.
So all these things before Oasis, we can't do in them because he was very poor and that.
And they were...
That's society's crime, isn't it?
And it was at the height of the acid house craze, so we were all just following that little happy smiley face.
That happy
So
smiley
that's why you
face.
did it. It was sort of a drug crime. The burglary was...
Let's not get like a priest now, whoever you are.
Acid's a
Don't not get like a priest. I mean, just done it because everybody used to do it. Used to, by the way.
Right.
Yeah, used to.
As a thrill, it was a thrilling thing to do.
Look at Trev getting all confident and cocky because Noel Gallagher's here. Sit back down in your chair, Locke, and get away from our guests. You should see him all looming and Noel Gallagher. I used to be in a band. I can play Champagne Supernova. Can I have a go? I've bought my guitar. He's bought his guitar. That'll irritate you. I told him, don't bring a guitar.
He looks like an insane cartoon Alec Jones, don't you think?
Yeah, thanks. You're an insane cartoon Alec Jones.
Great, I knew this. I knew you'd turn him against me. I thought I'll get in, try and be nice, and no, we've
turned Noel Gallagher against Trev. Woohoo! Good, it was bound to happen.
It's the same as the Smiths, anyway.
Yeah.
You know, they were the last great unique band this country's ever produced. Everything else you can see.
Your band's been since.
Yeah,
then.
but we were derivative of a lot of 60s influences.
Woo! Noel Gallagher saying he's derivative, the most arrogant man in popular music, saying we're derivative, derived from the Beatles.
No, we were, but like the Smiths weren't derived, to my ears, weren't derived of anything that I could put my finger on.
Yeah. Question for Noel. I sold a bloke a mattress for your flat 4 years ago for 350 quid. How much did he charge you for it? That's Paul the Bedman of Stratford.
I'd have thought if he sold it to the guy that was putting, I'd have thought he'd probably marked it up, so I probably paid about $1,000 for it. No.
Probably about $1,000.
Yeah.
Got probably turned over.
Yeah, it's a nice mattress, though.
Is it comfy? You still got it?
I have still got it.
Well, that surprises me what that probably has to go through. The hellish exploits of the bedroom that you enjoy. What's that face mean, Mr. Gallagher?
I beg your pardon. Hellish. Hellish.
Well, I just imagine, you know, all the filth.
No, it's just straight up erotica. There's no hellish. There's no hellish behaviour involved. I'm not flaying around with bats and those curly things on fire what you see people on the beach in Ibiza do. None of that going on.
Yeah, all Diablos off
not like at your house.
Oh, now then. What goes on in my house is magical and mysterious, very touching.
Well, like Lord of the Rings.
I'm kind of a Lord of the Rings, no. I can make 'em wink. That's lovely. Now, what were you saying about... I've enjoyed that. It's a bit mucky. So, we were saying about Trevor Locke. Like, the name Trevor Locke reminded you of
Well, when you said this is Trevor Locke, I was like, because I thought you were... obviously, if somebody says this and then with the surname, you think, all right, well, he must be famous from it. And then I registered that Trevor Locke was PC Trevor Locke, who was the police officer in the Iranian embassy siege in 1980.
Did he distinguish himself, this PC Trevor Locke?
He did, yeah. He eventually sorted it out because he was. Well, the SAS were involved, obviously, but he was kind of doing security for the embassy at the time, and he kind of got caught up in it and got taken hostage. But he had a concealed weapon that nobody knew about, and when the SAS stormed the building, the terrorists were trying to make out that they were staff workers, and he was going, "No, they're not." No, they're not.
Picking them off. off.
Yeah, picking them off. Allegedly, that might not actually be true. Allegedly, he was picking them off.
He was picking
I
them
think
off.
that's an exaggeration.
What a brave old man.
But that's how I know. It was live on the telly. You don't get things like that live on the telly now. Now you get kind of...
Don't complain that there are more sieges. It's not entertainment.
Hey, look, the 70s was great.
It was exciting. I was really popular in the playground.
Now
for
we're
about a
going
week.
live to Riyadh, where there's a 747 that's just been taken over by Black September.
Blimey.
Brilliant.
It was entertaining them days when there was constant threat of terrorism. I'm interested that Trevor Locke distinguished himself as an honourable and valiant man, whereas can you imagine
Something in
the
the
real
name, isn't
Trevor Locke? The real Trevor Locke would have been a gutless coward in the
Call him the
siege.
real Trevor. That man's the real.
Yeah, that man's... You're a derived Trevor Locke.
Stop it.
You're not
I bet it's not even his real name. He's changed.
It's
it.
my real... Of
changed
course
your
I
name
wouldn't
to
change my
Bastard
name to that.
Glory.
About him.
That was my real name. And I was a hero once at a cash point.
No, you were not. What did you do at this cash
I
point?
jumped on the back of a man who mugged my mate.
Well, probably because you found him sexually attractive and don't get many opportunities to date.
He went for his wallet. I jumped on him, and we rolled around in the dust. I got my jumper ripped.
In the dust? Where was it? In the Serengeti?
Serengeti catch point muggings. Trevor Locke distinguishes himself.
This was a summer mugging. There was dust on the floor.
Summer mugging, have me at last. Summer mugging, happens so fast. Trevor Locke sees an opportunity to pull. Trevor, that's an absolute lie. You
It's
did
not a
do
lie. It was really frightening. I saw this
Probably
bloke,
for the
I had my
mugger.
eye on him, and I thought he's looked.
You had your eye on him?
Yeah.
This is the horrible year of this story.
Not
The more
in that
it's-
one.
Why don't you just come out and say, I once committed a sexual assault, and that you're trying to join in with the arrest stories? They're trying to pass it off as an act of heroism comparable to the Iranian siege. He's trying to say...
I'm not comparing it to that. I'm just defending myself to accusations of cowardice. I'm not a coward.
Trevor, if you'd been in that Iranian siege, you'd have got that, what's that, Stockholm syndrome? You'd have started identifying with your captors going, oh, I agree with you. Oh, it's good, I do agree with your plight. Is there anything I can do to help? Doing yourself up as one and stuff, wouldn't you?
Just making teas.
Does anybody need any money from the cash point?
Yeah, Trev! Let's bully and victimise Trevor Locke. Got some more questions and that from you. It says, to Noel. Oh, to Noel. Oh, I got arrested for exterminating in public toilet. Ned the Dalek. Well, that's a bit unusual.
Well, he's a Dalek.
Well, I suppose if you are a Dalek, you are going to exterminate. Well, I think that's just... Because that's not a question, is it? There's no way you can really respond to that, Noel.
No, I'd just go back to bed, whoever you are.
Go back to have a little rest, mate.
have
You
a
should read
nap.
them before you read them out. On
Nonsense! I will not do it. I will not bow to the pressure of professionalism. Did Noel have any friends that were made from paper and talked to him when he was at school? From Pete the Bedroom Man. This is a reference to Trevor Locke earlier told a story about like when he was a kid he had an origami dragon.
I did have the unpleasantness of listening to that before when I was getting ready.
Ghastly, wasn't it, to listen to
Yeah,
that?
about a paper dragon.
Ridiculous. Trevor boasting about his little
I wasn't
paper friend.
boasting. It was just it was a neutral example.
That is such a long way from attacking men at cash points. It's unbelievable. Isn't it?
How did the man that made that dragon ever assail a man in the Serengeti cash pool?
Who won that fight? You never said.
Who won what fight?
The rolling around in the dust.
What happened was I was on the floor grappling with him. My mate didn't come to help. All I did, I don't know how to fight, so I just
Proper
held on to
70s
him.
term, that, isn't it?
Grappling.
Yeah, I was grappling with him.
This didn't happen
I think
in
that's
the
essentially a
70s.
euphemism for kissing.
This happened in the early noughties, and
It sounds very naughty.
Say that. He didn't say that.
2001.
The naughty. Say the
2001.
turn of the century like everybody else.
Turn of the century, Trev.
turn of the century.
Yeah, the turn of the last century from where you're from.
And yeah, well, the police came along.
The police came along.
Plainclothes police officers. I thought they were his mates going to beat me up because
Right.
they started running towards us. There was a gang of them.
Did you punch him or was it just hold?
I was just holding on to him and sort of resting.
Doing that angry face again to the listeners.
Yeah, doing that voice of the man who destroyed Ricky the
I
Dragon.
did Darren Goddard's voice, but I don't know how to fight, so I just held on. What do you
Just
do?
held on.
You know.
I don't get in fights a lot, to be honest.
Don't
I don't
you?
know. No.
Good that you don't get in fights. Did you when you was younger, when you were out committing all them robberies?
I can always bamboozle my way out of them. But I just say something to people and they go, what? And by the time you're gone.
Right. you
Trevor
found
should have used his sonic enigmas.
Yeah, you could have gone, riddle me this. What record do you think this is? That's definitely maybe. Okay, hi. Can you ask Noel the following question? Who are the best, Arctic Monkeys or Pulp? That's from Steve Cross from Scunthorpe.
Well, that's Pulp I know more, I would have to say. Purely by previous output, the Arctic Monkeys.
You like Arctic Monkeys?
I do, yeah. That night after we'd done the think we went to see them that night. They were great, really, really, really great.
Were they?
Yeah. It's not so much the music; it was the atmosphere in the room was fantastic.
What do you mean? So what about the atmosphere?
I don't know. I've never been to a gig. I've only been to 2 gigs like that. Was with the Libertines where they were at their height, and this lot. It was just kind of all the people in the room are kind of the same age, apart from us old fellas at the back. And it was just, I don't know, there was something in the atmosphere. It was
So they're creating a vibe and
yeah,
some
but
energy.
I ended up in an after show, right? And one of the bass player, he goes to the bar and he comes back and he's proper out of order with a tray of tequila, right? Unannounced, because if somebody says to you, "You having a tequila?" You go, "No, I'm not having that. I can't be drinking. It's 2 o'clock in the morning already." So he comes back and he puts them all on. So you can't back out because I'm, they're the kids and that, and it's like 20 years younger than I am. Do you know what I mean? So I'm banging the tequilas down, and he's going off and getting more. And I'm thinking, how do I get out of this now? Because I'm about to urinate in someone else's trousers, let alone mine. This is going to go all over somebody. I was making semaphore to my missus, who's on the dance floor, going, "Leave right now before I vomit in his pocket."
Don't make it weird, but you were too proud to go, excuse me,
and then she comes over and she says, "What are you waving at?" And I'm like, "Well, we've got to go now." Not now.
Surely not.
Not now.
No, we can
and
see you for another couple of hours.
And then go out. I don't even remember getting home.
That tequila thing happens a lot, doesn't it? People
Yeah, it's
find out,
horrible.
tequila, or
Do you know what?
Sambuca.
Do you know what our kid drinks?
Go on.
Tequila and milk.
What's happened with that lad? Where's he got that from?
Some mad experiment he was having that it would line his stomach at the same time so we could drink more.
That's bonkers.
Trevor made some peep of approval over there. Do you
It
think
makes sense, doesn't it?
It doesn't make sense.
It does make
Doesn't
sense.
the milk
Coat it.
separate? You'd think the milk would...
Yeah, all curd
Not
will
when
go
your wee
mad.
hurts in the morning, though.
Your wee hurts?
Yeah, I haven't done it, but it's...
Do you reckon you reckon it
apparently it did.
Ow! It really hurts in me, my urine. Okay, so you've had a musical selection here, Noel, setting sun from Chemical Brothers. Tell us that thing about videos you were saying with the
They
Chemical
would
Brothers.
never let me be in the videos.
Why?
I don't
how?
know. I would always like, so we're doing a video, what? And they'd always go, "Oh, yeah, well, one of our mates has already done something on his computer." And then you'd see it, and there'd be a full cast of people in it, and you'd be like, "What's all that about?"
Well, they'd say before, it's like Tron, there's no one else in it, but then you'd see it and there's all people
there's all
bobbing
people
about.
in it.
That's really weird.
Hundreds of people.
It's probably marketing reasons, though, isn't it? Because
What are you trying to say, you over there, marketing reasons?
Well,
What's better to market one of my songs?
Bloody cheek, Trev! You insulted our guest!
Don't jump in with 2 feet.
Me and you are going to be grappling in the dust in a minute.
Grappling means something different to him, Noel. That's just turned him on now. Oh, blimey, the microphone's risen. Be careful what you say to him. He's very saucy. Don't offer him a grapple. You'll never get rid of him. He's like a stray dog.
Whew, I flushed. Now, no, what I meant is, because they put you on the record to appeal to a
Look
broader
at him trying to win
audience.
Noel Gallagher back.
Okay, but if they have your face in the video, they might, alienate their sort of dance fans that like,
Didn't have any fans before I got involved with them.
Yeah,
They had
true.
dance fans, though, didn't they?
No, but
What's
he's singing all over the record, so that doesn't...
I wrote it.
He wrote that track.
deserves to be...
Oh, should I say I co-wrote it with those 2 boys.
Okay.
Respect to those 2 boys as well. They are very, very talented.
Showing them boys respect. We've got a question from Hannah in Manchester. Do you think Oasis will ever have their day, or do you still feel passionate about making music, Noel?
We'll ever have that. Oh, yeah. I only feel passionate about it once every 2 or 3 years.
Right. Really? So, it's like an arable farming system, really. You lay fallow for a bit.
It's like a tap. I can switch it on and off. Like now, I'm not passionate about music. Can't be bothered. I'm more passionate about going on my holidays.
Is the Stone Roses a better debut album than Definitely Maybe? And have you ever thought about a few electronic sounds in Oasis records like New Order, Sean Carroll?
Is the Stone Roses better than Definitely Maybe? More people bought Definitely Maybe. So, you'd have to go with the people, really, wouldn't you?
Gotta go with the people!
You've got to go with the people.
Gotta go with the people.
Electronic noises, not really.
Except for these collaborations with the Chemical Brothers.
Yeah, that's good. I like all that. We kind of tried. We tried a bit of that stuff, but it doesn't really work for us. We're not that.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Means we've got to get an electrician in to play them.
Right, yeah,
Do
you
you know what I
won't
mean?
get on, it just causes tension.
I don't agree with it.
You can't even get on with your own
stick with
family.
the guitars, innit?
Matt's a purist, isn't you, with all that sort of stuff?
You've got a funny noise on the importance of being idle, haven't you? There's a little sound effect.
That's a 60s keyboard, that is, young man.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
But it's like a wee.
Because Trevor's from the past. The 60s keyboard to him is the height of technology.
That's one of those. When it goes into the solo, that's one of those. I don't
Party.
know. No. It's just two completely different noises there. That was... What's wrong with you? That's not the same at all.
But you're putting your hand to your mouth like a...
Yeah, it's like, I don't know what the menagerie is called.
Yeah,
but it isn't electronic.
It's like a kazoo. It's a kazoo, isn't it?
No, that's completely different again. It's a...
Trevor, you're antagonising.
I don't know what it's called.
He rubs him up the wrong way.
You really... We have to put up with this.
It's the Aled Jones thing. I can't get it out of my head now that he's Aled Jones.
Cartoon Aled Jones.
That hurt.
We think he looks like a boy band Alan Bennett as well.
I don't know Alan Bennett.
Alan Bennett isn't beyond the fringes or glasses and stuff like that. He talks in that fashion. He looks like, good, isn't it? But, Noel, this is from Tom Abede in Hampton. Is Oasis big in America? Are you getting some of that Yankee dollar?
We don't sell as many records as we like to, but we play to more people than we like to.
In that,
we're big on the live thing,
right.
But we don't. We've had a pretty naff record label over there for a few years, and they don't. Our records don't go down well at radio, and our personalities, they don't like us. We get subtitled on American television when we go over there. Seriously,
really.
Yeah.
What Noel said then was that they get subtitled when they go on American television.
Yeah, they billed me once as a glue-sniffing cat burglar from the mean streets of Burnage. In an American accent on the telly. You know that VH1 thing behind the music.
That's brilliant.
The glue-sniffing cat burglar from the mean streets of Burnage.
That's lovely. That's poetic.
Yeah, but just mentally think of that image. Dressed in a cat suit with a bag of swag.
I've got my Hovis bag. I've got my swag. Now for some burglaries. You wouldn't be able to do a burglary if you're high on solvents.
You'd think, wouldn't you? But
it would be dangerous to do a cat burglary.
Surprisingly, you get through quite a few.
What a childhood that man had. So, okay, also what did it say? Oh, that's why, Tom O'B continues, that's why James Blunt has $9 million in the bank, you need a US #1. So, remember, because you're upset that you're not on that rich list.
Yeah, but I know why that is now.
Why is it? Because it's out.
Because that rich list is all those...
angry about the rich list. Not the rich list, jabbing his finger.
The thing is all those people who are on it, they present their bank statements to be in it. Ours, when they ask, we say, "Nah, it's private, mate."
Yeah, right.
Because I believe you me, I checked after that.
Yeah.
And I was there in a darkened room for a while, counting out the pennies, and was like, "I've got more than him."
Good. Well, I'm glad to hear it. There is some sort of justice.
And while we're on the subject, I've got a lot more than him.
Good. Noel Gallagher boasting there about his wealth.
That's not boasting. Boasting is like saying, I could eat 59 pizzas in an hour. That's a fact. I've got more money than James Blunt. That's a fact.
Still boasting, Noel.
No, it's not.
Sniffing cat burger.
No, boasting is like, I'm going to knock you out, you freak.
That's a threat. Don't say that either.
He said that to Trevor.
He was looking at Trevor when he said that. Go on, Trevor, jump on his back. See if you can get him pregnant.
All right, well, if I'm boasting, I'm sorry, but to me, I'm stating the facts.
Especially over old Blunty.
Captain Blunt. It's unfortunate because his surname Blunt rhymes with that other word, but it's that obvious that no one will ever use it.
Yeah,
that does my head in that.
It will become a rhyming slang eventually. Yeah, look, we've got a question here from Matt. It says, if you had to pick one album which best defines you, what would it be? What one of you? I'm guessing it means one of
ours.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'd have thought definitely maybe.
Well, because that was the youthful verve. We
were young and pure. And we were hungry, and we meant it. Well, not that we don't now, but that was kind of, we were the same age as our audience. We were in the same position as them Arctic Monkeys are now.
Right, I see. So you think they are comparable then to Oasis?
Not musically, but in the terms of where they are
culturally.
Yeah, culturally, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Here's an email about me. Heaven forfend there should be an email about me on the Noel Show.
Can I read this out then?
Yeah, all right. I hope so.
Russell, you could be the second funniest man that ever lived.
He's not referring to you as the first
on a lighter note, shame about West Ham yesterday. I was there also. In fact, I saw you, spoke to you even. You was trying to ring your dad at half-time while I interrupted. Some arm stroking, mainly by you, went on. It was amazing. Remember?
I remember that arm stroking. I've eroticised that in my memory.
From Sir Horace Gentleman.
He was a very well turned out chap. I saw him there in the North Stand. I thought, I can't wait to get my hands on you.
It's via Hotmail
Nice. It couldn't be his piping hot, couldn't it? As are my loins.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember. He was a nice young lad. Yeah, sorry, I said I was going to come and say hello to him and his girlfriend, because I go, Russell, but no, we were all caught up in the drama. Obviously, at the end of the first half yesterday, West Ham were FA Cup winners, but you know, things change. That was the podcast for our most recent show. Did you know, Matt, that there's no censorship allowed? Like, on podcasts, there's no censorship. It's isn't it? So we can say what we like there. Go on, Trev, say a swear word.
I don't know any.
We'll
Why
teach
did
you
you
some.
have sex with this morning?
I had sex with someone from the telly, but this information's classified. Enjoy the podcast.
Des Lynam.
Thanks for downloading this trial from the BBC. Find out more at bbc.co.uk/6music.
BBC.
6music.